Thank you for joining us today at Ignite. My name's Kathy Dew, and I'm here to talk to you today about what's new for SharePoint sites, solutions, templates, pages, and more. So let's jump right in. When it comes to SharePoint, templates, sites, solutions, pages, news, many different things, even Viva connections. There are so many different options for what you can utilize to create content, enable how collaboration works within your industry, within your organization. So let's delve in and talk about just a few of those options today, what's happened in the past few months, what you can expect to see coming in the future, and how you should be thinking about content collaboration. One of the easiest ways to get started is by utilizing a template. Recently, we launched our SharePoint site templates, and this gives you a quick scenario-based way to build out your SharePoint site. We launched with a set of first-party templates that will continue to be enhanced over the coming months with additional scenario-based templates, as well as giving you the ability to create your own custom site templates that will show up in the template gallery, giving you that ability to apply a template onto a SharePoint site, whether it be a communication site, a team site, or channel site, and apply not just activated features, but a theme and different components, creating lists and libraries, giving you that quick start ability with a SharePoint site. And then as you look forward from that, included in many of the Microsoft provided SharePoint site templates are list templates as well. With Microsoft lists and list templates, you have the ability to create a Microsoft list with a template, getting started with pre-configured columns, lists that have that pre-configured formatting so that you can get started easily and quickly by adding the content and getting started. Key core component of SharePoint sites is pages and news. And with that as well, they're not left behind when it comes to templates. We have pages templates as well. So you can create custom page templates to go around with your site templates or within your environment so that you can have customized page templates or news post templates so that your users can get started creating content the way they need it right away, easily starting them in that quick start behavior. When it comes to getting started with site templates, there's many ways that you can access our site template gallery to get started and apply a site template. Getting started with them is super simple. You can access it by going to our site settings, which is where you go into the gear in the sweep bar in the top right corner. There you go in and you'll find apply a site template. This will launch our gallery and give you the ability to browse through and view and apply a site template. If you first created your site and you browse to that site for the very first time, you may notice a dialog box appear. This dialog box will give you the option to start from site templates right away by browsing templates. If you've chosen to ignore this and say maybe later or come back to it at another time, you always have the option to go back to site settings, as well as with new sites, you'll have the next steps panel as well. In our next steps panel, it contains a set of next steps that you might want to utilize for a new site. This contains not only things like site templates, but also how to customize your site in many other ways. And site templates is right there, taking you straight into gallery as well to give you that quick way to browse into a site template, see what is included with it, and make your choice as to whether you want to apply that template to your site or not. We're really excited for this next piece. We've been innovating when it comes to templates and thinking about what is the next step when it comes to us. And we chose to think broad, think grand, think Microsoft 365 wide templates. So with this, we're choosing to introduce to you now our newest in template innovation, which is Microsoft 365 connected templates. With Microsoft 365 connected templates, you will see templates that are scenario-based, joining together SharePoint and Teams and other Microsoft 365 products and tools together into a single application scenario-based template solution. With the first iteration of connected templates that you'll see coming into your environment soon, you'll see connections between SharePoint site templates and Teams templates. So as you go into Teams and create your team, If you select one of these connected templates, the associated SharePoint template will also get applied, and those resources created as a part of that SharePoint template will automatically be added into Teams as tabs, bringing those ready-made resources of pages and lists and news and Power Platform integrations with Power Automate on lists right away into your hands in Teams, right into the flow of your work. So really integrating SharePoint and Teams together in ways that make it easy and seamless for you to collaborate without taking additional steps. So connected templates are really the next step forward in our template platform story. And you'll continue to see more and more innovation along these lines. Now let's take a look at site templates in action. As we look at this new team site that's been created, we can see that next step panel open on the right-hand side of the screen. And so as we go over into that next step panel and we go and look at what's involved in there, we're going to get started with a site template. And so when we click on that Get Started link, it opens up our template gallery, of which we can see all of the great site templates that have been provided from Microsoft. And we can look at the details of what's included in those templates by selecting the template, and then we can choose to apply that template. As we apply the template, what's happening in the background is all of those great resources, the pages, the news, the lists, the resources are all being created and applied. And as you can see really quickly, that site template is applied, and now our site has been transformed using that template with great sample content that gets me started and gives me a kickstart to get started on my site. I can simply come in and edit the page and change out the sample content to make it be relevant to my site and my organization. Now let's take a look at connected templates. So with connected templates, we've moved over into Microsoft Teams, and we're going to go ahead and start by going into the Join or Create team. And we're going to create a new team within Microsoft Teams, and we're going to utilize one of the Teams templates that are there and available for us. In this case, we're going to utilize the Manage a Project template. So with this, once we see that, we'll see what is included as a part of that template. To make the necessary selections, naming our template, picking our security for it, and going through and naming our team. So we're going to go ahead and call it Project Kickstarter, and we're going to create this team. So once we create the team, what's happening is that Teams template is being applied, where those channels are being created, the apps are being created, as well as the SharePoint site is being created. And the SharePoint site template, as we just saw in the process and adding that site template from SharePoint, is being applied. And now you can see right here in Teams, that SharePoint site template, that page, those lists have all been created and brought into Teams as tabs in Teams. So now that we've taken a quick look at templates and how those are going to work and those exciting new innovations with our connected templates, let's delve a little bit into one of those core components around pages and talk a bit about the innovations and some of the great things that are coming when it comes to pages. So first off, you may see starting to roll out right now is our private drafts feature when it comes to pages. This gives you a great ability to create a private draft of a page or a news post so that when you're creating it, you can build something and have it just for you to edit on before you're ready to have that be published. So private drafts are going to be a great innovation when it comes to pages and news. Another great new innovation coming for pages and news is Microsoft Editor integrations. These integrations will bring something that I know that I've been waiting for a very long time, which is spell check and grammar integrations right into the text web parts and into Pages authoring. So now as I'm writing in my page, if I have a typo or I have missed a comma or I have put some grammar that is just not correct, Microsoft Editor integrations will begin to appear so that I can see that just like I would in Word or other Microsoft Office technologies where I could see that same Microsoft Editor integration showing up. So that coming into page authoring is going to be a great way to enable our content creators to build pages and create that content we need. And then finally, you may have seen in that last bit where I showcased having those pages within Teams. But the ability to create pages and news posts from within Teams is another great innovation that's going to be coming soon to pages and news. So being able to, regardless of where you are, whether you're in SharePoint or within Teams, creating those resources, building those pages, create that content, truly creating from wherever you are is going to truly transform this. And not just from within pages and Teams. You'll continue to see this expand out into office.com and other places where you would want to create content from. So some of the other great things that you'll see starting to roll out today is collapsible sections. We often talk to you about building beautiful pages and sites and how you should think about your content when you're building these pages, breaking up large blocks of text with images and not just having a solid wall of text for your readers, that they wouldn't read it. It would be overwhelming for them. With collapsible sections, we're giving you additional options to break up those large pages and to make your content more easily consumable. So collapsible sections are going to bring even another piece of the puzzle into content creation and page authoring. And another great page authoring innovation is the ability to add inline images in text web parts. So we've always had to, in modern SharePoint, separate out text and images between a text web part and an image web part. And now you'll be able to be typing along in your text web part, add in that image, improved alignment capabilities with that, have text off to the side of it, have it all aligned with those alignment controls, and bring images right into the text web part so that you get all of that great and advancement and enhancement for page authoring into the text web part, bringing together text and images just as you would within other Microsoft 365 technologies. We're not done when it comes to advancements for pages and news authoring. These are just a few of the advancements that you're going to see coming soon to you. And we wanted to highlight these and really give you some of that great advancement of what's coming. So let's take a look at some of these now. So in our last demo, you saw me create that Project Kickstarter team and that site that was associated with it. Now we've jumped over into SharePoint and you can see that that site has evolved a bit. We've taken this and customized it even further. And so as we come in here, I want to now create a new news post for it. And so with this, I'm going to come in and create that new news post. And I'm going to utilize my status report template that was created as a part of this. But you can see here, I also have my visual and basic text templates that are the built-in pages and news templates that are provided. So I do have the ability to go in and create from these. So I can go through and select that I want to create these as a private draft. And you can see that I've gone through and picked what I wanted from my template. I've created it as a private draft. And now I can come into that page, that news post that I've created, and I can start editing. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick name. The launch date is live. We're preparing for an event. We know it's coming, but the launch date isn't live yet. It's in November. So we're creating this a little bit ahead of time. So we want to have this as a private draft so that we can go ahead and stage this work. So we're going to go ahead and do some page editing, some page authoring in here. And you saw me utilize how we've always worked with images in modern SharePoint in the past by adding in that image web part, selecting the image and putting in. But now you see me utilizing the inline images within the text web part. I've clicked on the image in that authoring command bar. I've selected now my image. It's right here within my image, my text web part. And I'm able to come in and change the alignment of this image and come in, change the image. I get that full image web part panel off to the side where I can select it and edit that image. I can keep adding in text because this is a text web part. So I can keep adding in text into this text web part right around the image and go in and truly transform it. And before I would have had to add another web part to put text below it, but this is the same web part. I'm able to just simply go below the image and continue adding the text that I need for this section of content. So really making it super easy to add and work with images with your text web part now and making this truly transformational. And I talked a bit about collapsible sections and how this was coming. So as I come in and edit this section, you can see as I choose to make this section collapsible, it gives me additional options for it. I still have all of those great options around section backgrounds, and I can come in and add in a display name to show up when the section is collapsed, and showing off all of these great different components for sections and making them collapsible. Something to know as well is that we're looking into providing section templates. So not just having collapsible sections, but giving you some ideas, some sparking of what you could put into sections, just like we have site templates and page templates, by giving you section templates in the future as well. So some further advancement around sections that you'll continue to see, not just collapsible, not just backgrounds, but some design suggestions as well. So really taking through and building this out. So I'm coming in and continuing to add and innovate into my page, continuing to author, adding in that new text web part. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get to go in a hurry and I'm writing and typing away and mistakes happen and I misspell a word, or I am one that is just world renowned for writing the world's longest run-on sentences. And so I often need and rely on that grammar help. These Microsoft Editor integrations into the text web part will truly help our content creators author these pages. You can see right away, it tells me when I've misspelled something. It gives me that suggestion for how to change it. It gives me those grammar suggestions for how to fix what's happening and what I've done incorrectly. So I can choose to go in and utilize that Microsoft Editor integration in my text web parts to edit and make those changes as needed. And you'll see I saved this as a draft, and you'll see it is still saved as a private draft. I'm the only one who gets to see it. So those are just a few innovations when it comes to page authoring. Let's talk a little bit more about the and more part of this session. When we look at an and more when it comes to sites, this could encompass many different things. So for the first piece of the and more, we're going to take a look at some solutions. How do we extend our content with solutions? So there's many different options depending on what you're working with. So I've highlighted 3 great options here, but there are many different options and many different ways that you can extend or customize your sites and pages and teams with custom solutions. So taking a look at a couple of these right now, we have our SPFX Microsoft Teams tab apps. So if you're looking for something custom in Teams, you can use the SharePoint framework to custom develop an app in Microsoft Teams. And once you publish that into Teams, it provides that seamless integration as an app right there in Teams. You can also, if you're utilizing Microsoft Viva, create custom dashboard cards. So having these great ACE cards as something that you can customize is a really great way to bring that constant customization into the flow of work in Microsoft Viva. And it doesn't stop there. It's not just SharePoint and Teams and Microsoft Viva. You can bring customizations even at a low code, no development needed solution level into places like Microsoft Lists by utilizing rules. And so you can build in rules right into lists and to list templates. So putting in rules into your Microsoft list, bringing in that power of automation right into your solutions. So there's many different ways to customize. This is just a couple of those ways, learning lots more about customization in many of our developer tracks. When it comes to SharePoint and the information architecture of SharePoint, we can have many different sites. You could participate in a couple of sites. You could participate in hundreds of sites. Finding that content that you need is one of the most challenging things for many people. With that, we recently introduced our SharePoint app bar. This is our way of providing a global navigation component to give you that easy way to access content and sites from wherever you are within SharePoint. So with our SharePoint app bar, you'll notice that you'll have access to sites and files and news and your navigation that's been provided to you as a part of your global navigation. This shows up both in SharePoint and in Microsoft Viva. And then we have a few innovations that I'll highlight for you with a demo so that you can see what's happening with the SharePoint app bar as we continue to innovate. So as we go back into SharePoint and we're back on our Project Kickstarter site, just where we just start with that private draft of our post, we're going to go in and look at the app bar first and look at, we have our great site level navigation as a part of the left navigation here. But as we go into the app bar, you can see as I click on my sites, I can see sites there. I can see my global navigation as a part of my global nav node. I can see my news, recommended news for me from across the site being published here. My files that I've recently interacted with. Something new to this is my lists, being able to quickly get into that. And here's that new advancement that'll be coming soon, the ability to quickly create content from anywhere in SharePoint. How many of you have ever wanted to create a site from wherever you were? You just needed that new site. You'll be able to create sites, lists, files right from within our create bar, right in SharePoint. So you'll be able to build those from anywhere moving forward. Not only will you be able to move and create things, but talking about finding things and navigation, one of the things that we also have is our hub sites. So in this particular site, Project Kickstarter, I am the owner of this site, and I've decided that it is time. We're ready to now have this expand its ownership. So we are going to go ahead and associate this to the Branding and Design Hub. So as we associate it to our Branding and Design Hub, you'll notice we get that additional hub navigation bar, and we also pull in the hub settings. We have now inherited our hub's theme, so our site transformed in a way to get that teal theme applied to it. So hubs are another great IA component in SharePoint and something that are utilized. And not just hubs, we have associated hubs now. So a great way to connect hubs together so that you can easily search and find content across multiple hubs. Bringing in that finding content easily and making it easier to navigate within SharePoint. You've seen me show you a lot of great innovation and new things coming to SharePoint sites. But one of the things that we truly believe is that SharePoint and Teams are better together, and that all of these great components that we've shown you, these resources, these tools that we're building within SharePoint for team sites and advancements there need to work with Teams. You'll see that with things like connected templates and the way that we're moving things forward. So I want to talk a little bit about how all of these advance together into our better together story with SharePoint and Teams. So you'll see all of these great things, templates and tab solutions and Microsoft Viva and list integrations with Power Automate advancements coming together into Teams. So let's go take a look at all of these great things right from within Teams. Here on our Project Kickstarter site, we're in SharePoint, but if we utilize this Teams icon right there in the site header, it'll take us straight into Teams. As I come into Teams, it takes me to that general channel in Teams. You see those great tabs for our SharePoint site page, for our lists, all right there within Teams, bringing all of that great content that we've always had in SharePoint into Teams and make it easy to access. But one of the things I know is you saw me creating that news post about that content being ready, is that we're getting close to being ready. So we're going to create a new list here right from within Teams. It's going to be in our SharePoint site. So we're going to create that list by adding in our list tab. So once we do that, we create the new list utilizing our list templates. We're going to use the content scheduler list. We're going to go in and call this our content launch. So we're going to, or our launch content, I think it is. So we're going to go in and change the name up, make this more applicable to our site, to our scenario that we need it for. We're going to select that icon and the color so that we can go with it. Let's pick the rocket. It's a launch after all. So let's go through and create this list. As we create that content scheduler list template, you'll notice this list template has a Power Automate integration built right into it. So it's going to prompt me right away to build that flow. So I can go in and set up this flow, and I'm going to go ahead and say do this later. And then what you'll notice when I do that, it's still going to continue to prompt me in that list to finish setup. But it's right there and ready for me to finish the setup, but I need to go edit my page, my site. I need to go put some of this content right there on that homepage so that people know it's available and that they can go in and start utilizing this list, whether they're in Teams or in SharePoint, super easy. So I'm going to edit that page. Editing pages right from within Teams, we're going to utilize our quick links. As we go in and utilize our quick links web part, you'll see we edit that web part. I get that full web part property pane off to the right with all of the same options for editing my SharePoint page and web parts that I would have in SharePoint. So I can go in and customize this, pick my layout, add in the links, customize the links, select my icons, and create this quick links section of my site right within the page by page editing right from within Teams. So you'll see me come in and edit this and customize it. I've added the link to that list and I'm going to name it appropriately and I'm going to pick the right icon because I don't know that the auto selected really applies. It is a site, but I want it to be more of a calendar. It's a scheduler, right? So we're going to pick that icon, we're going to put it in. We're going to also add in one more link. We're going to pick that status report that we had shown earlier. We're going to add that status report in. We're going to customize it again, move it around. Again, all of the same page authoring experiences that I have in SharePoint are now available to me within Microsoft Teams. So I'm able to come in here and create and customize, and not just the same site contents and editing experience, page authoring experiences before, but all of those additional experiences that we talked about, those new experiences, collapsible sections, changing up all of that section background, doing all of the great page authoring, and then I can publish straight from within Teams. So I come in, I've decided that I'm ready, and I'm republished my page. So I'm republishing that page, completing that authoring experience from within Teams. So not only will you be able to edit pages from within Teams, but in the future, you will also be able to create and author brand new pages and news posts right from within Teams. So that will be some additional innovation that you'll see coming to Microsoft Teams with SharePoint pages and news in the near future. So creating, authoring, editing, configuring, customizing within Teams. And we talked about finding content. So not just within Teams and Teams themselves, but when we go to Microsoft Viva and we see that great SharePoint app bar experience showing up within Microsoft Viva, finding content, again, is as easy as you need it to be wherever you are, whether that is within Teams, whether that is in SharePoint, truly bringing these better together experiences together between SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, and Microsoft Viva, connecting the pieces together, bringing collaboration and content where you work. We have looked at so many great innovations when it comes to SharePoint solutions, templates, sites, pages, news. Whew, how do we go and more? So when we look at that and you start wondering, that's great, Kathy, you've shown me all of this, when do I get it? This is just a quick look at some of the items on our roadmap. You'll see a number of items between sites and pages and lists that are rolling out soon versus the items that are coming soon. And then some of the items that we have on our top of mind list. This is not by any means our complete roadmap, but gives you a great idea of some of the things that you'll start to see soon and the ways that you can start to think about what's coming for sites and pages and lists as you go through. I encourage you to go check out some of the other sessions as well. I know there's a dedicated session for Microsoft Lists where you'll see even more of their roadmap, as well as other sessions around development and great topics around Microsoft Viva and other SharePoint topics as well. Please go check out our sessions to find out more about the additional roadmaps as well. So I hope you have taken a lot of great information out of today's session here. We've spent a lot of time thinking about how to improve experiences for sites and pages and news within SharePoint and within Teams. We want to bring the power of collaboration and make it stronger and easier to use than ever. So keep looking for those innovations, keep collaborating, and we can't wait to see what you build.